try this one here. Need some hickory, some oak. Hey, it rolls good. For now, just home made some brakes. These things were $4.98 a piece at Lowe's. Man, 4 of them almost as much as my engine stand was. Well, I'm gonna try to start disassembling this thing, and I'm gonna try to keep everything with the intake that'll go with the intake. Label some of these hoses and stuff, and then unbolt the intake. Maybe all this conglomeration will go with it. Like I say, I've never worked on one of these, but yeah, I'll keep everything together with the intake and unbolt it. You know, I believe it's easier to take the whole motor out than it is to pull this intake apart. All these hoses and lines and everything, it's just kind of ridiculous. Of course, this was the 1980s now. 1987. Is everything? What have I got? One left? No. That's it right there. And this is half of it. Let's put this over here. Trash. I wouldn't have to do that, except where's that one bolt? There is one Allen head bolt right there, right down there. And somehow I've got to get to that right through here. Why would they do that? Why is there one Allen head bolt right there? Tell me. Yeah. Why would they do that to me? No, got me a long Allen wrench and come in through there. You can see it down there. Oh man, I can tell now everything is just about to fall apart. That's all there was to it. Yep. I wasn't even seeing that. I took a video on how to get the 22RE intake off. Let's see. There's one Allen bolt, one super long socket head or Allen head bolt, socket head, whatever, in that thing. Why in the world would you do that? That one stud didn't want to let go right there. This one stud over here didn't want to let go, but kept spraying it with PB Blaster and moving it back and forth and back and forth. And it come undone. Throw that in the trash. Well, let's see what's done to the valve cover. Hang on. Holy moly. This thing has been sitting for a long time, boys. Look at this thing. Wow. I think video is worth 1,000 words. So that's what I got. So get the head off. I'm gonna get the clutch and flywheel over here, and I may have to go get me another engine stand. I got one stand up here, got a motor on it, so I can get it on an engine stand. I'll take the head off, see what it looks like. We might get to go to Harbor Freight, guys. That's some rusty, muddy looking water. I tell you, boys and girls. So that tells me the rings is probably rusty to the cylinder, messy. You know what I mean. Hey, we had to have this an engine stand because I only got one, and it's got a small block on it back there. But the engine stand was the easy part. Finding some 12 millimeter bolts long enough to go through the same end of the block was the hard part. These things were $4.98 a piece at Lowe's. Man, 4 of them almost as much as my engine stand was. Hey, this video is not sponsored by Working Hands by O'Keefe's, but that's some great stuff, guys. Well, we got our Harbor Freight special put together here. I think it was on clearance for like $74. I didn't have any coupons or nothing, so anyhow, that'll work. Help my time. Let's hold it up here. Where do I put this? Looks like I don't know. I think someone had done filled these cylinders up to try to break this loose. Not sure. Let's get this stuff cleaned out. You know, I squirted PB Blaster in there, but I didn't squirt much. Maybe it's mixed with that water. I don't know. Well, what y'all think? Think I'll ever get the pistons knocked out there? Might have to bust the pistons. Just trying to look. I don't see that the walls are that bad. Well, let's keep tearing it down. all this oil goes to. Somebody's watering the oil. I pulled the dipstick out and I didn't see no water in the oil. Yep, that's what that looks like. I don't know. Let's see if we can get it apart. Seeing what's marked. This I got a 1. It's got a 2. This has a arrow 3H. That has a 4. And of course, just don't need nothing because it's last one. Hey, good morning. I'm gonna take a little break. You know, I've got the head off the motor right here, but I haven't finished turning it down. But I got kind of a warm, drizzly day, and what I would like to do is to get this thing back out in front of my shop, take a pressure washer to it, and clean all this up. Try to clean up as much as I can underneath the frame, underbody, all this stuff, to where it's just clean and ready for me to spray a little paint, do a little work underneath. I like to go ahead and get that done while the weather's warm. Like I say, it's kind of drizzly anyway, it's wet, so might as well do it today. But first, if you remember, I had this right front up here that was, the brake was dragging on it. So I'm gonna lift this thing up, find out what's going on with that. I may just have to undo the caliper or cut the brake line if the brake line's bad, to where this thing will roll a little better, because it's really a pain to push and stuff. So I'm gonna do that first, and see about getting it outside and clean it up a little bit. Yeah, I got me a temporary back window put in. Well, at least it just keep the rain maybe from pouring in the back. But luckily, I think I found the back glass. I've talked to the guy, and I'm supposed to leave in the morning early. It's actually about 5 hours from home, so it's a long trip. But if I can get that, because apparently they're really hard to find for these things, so I'm gonna ride it down there tomorrow and get that, and hopefully tomorrow night I'll have me a back glass for this thing. That'll be one of the big things marked off the list. The back glass and the engine are the two primary things. So, all right. Where's my light? Where's my light? Where's my light? Okay, this is my first time messing with this style brake set up. Got the 2 pins right here. Chipped the knockout. And you can see they're pretty rusty. So I'm gonna got these out. I'm gonna clean this stuff up. I'm gonna squeeze these calipers back here a little bit and clean these pads and stuff up, and see what happens when I put it back on and match the brakes a little bit. See if it kind of recoils back. Because with this backed off, this is loose. So let's clean everything up and see how it does. All of these, well, let's say all of them. I was squeezing these pistons back in this caliper. These two outside squeezed back fine. That one did. This one does not want to go back, so that may be my issue. What's going on here? I'm getting a little bit bigger clamp and see if I can get it out and go back. So that piston there is really stuck. Okay, I stepped up on my C-clamp. I got that bottom piston to go back. I'm hoping maybe that'll just help it to free up a little bit. I'm gonna put the pads back on, mount it back up, and match the brakes a few times and see if it's free now. Hey, it rolls good. For now, just don't match the brakes. Yeah, I put it back together and matched the brakes a few times, and that one piston still not wanting to back up on that caliper, so I'm just going to use my emergency brakes by pulling it in and out of the garage to spray underneath. Oh, this thing is sitting crooked a little bit here. First things first. These guys gotta go. So I'm gonna start spraying everything down. Let it soak for a while. I don't know how much I'm gonna be able to get up in here with my wand. The main thing I want to do is get all the engine bay cleaned up, and if I can get all this transfer case transmission too, that'll help. And look at the leaves falling. It's pretty. You know, you got areas where there's been leaks. You got oil, grease everywhere. So I'm going to continue spraying all this down and push it outside. I didn't want the rain to pick up as hard, but it is what it is. So I just get wet. I just get wet. So yeah, it's raining. I'm gonna get wet, but luckily it's gonna rain hard for about the next 14 hours, so that looks pretty good. Yeah, so let's get through it. Yeah, I think I'll wire my safety hat because the rain will just kind of run off and drip down my ears and under my shirt. So I'll just leave this on. Here we go. Okay, I'm ready. It actually is let up a little bit, so let's hit it. Okay, I'm really gonna do it. I'm gonna do it now. Let's do it. That wasn't too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. Whew. I feel like I had something on my face. I had some stuff, maybe not so much. Just everywhere. Really, it wasn't too bad. So now, I got to try to get that thing back in here. And you know how much trouble I had in the first episode. But at least it's rolling better now, as long as I don't match the brakes. I'm using the merch brakes. So if I would just hook my hoist back up, chain hoist, and just pull it back in. Unless a couple guys drop by here in the next few minutes. That ain't gonna happen. It's just me. So I'm always working by myself. And this lift has helped out a ton with things. But what do y'all think about mounting a winch at the back of my garage here? Somehow on the floor, I got a mess over here, but maybe put a plate somehow. Put me like 4 studs or something in the floor, kind of like, you know, how you mount your lifts, and then mount a winch back there, and then I can pull things in. Does anybody did that? Woo, man. Fellas trying to take a break every now and then. Got me some Jif peanut butter crackers. Some beanie weenies. Oh, it's barbecue. I don't know if it's barbecue or smoked. One of them I don't like, one of them I do. I think I like the smoked beanie weenies, but I don't like the barbecue. I'll tell you in a minute. Oh man, I miss. Man. Well, it looks a little better. The firewall is a lot cleaner. But down here still looks kind of grimy, but I think we got a lot of grease and loose particles out. I actually cleaned up the AC compressor a little bit, but who knows if that's any good. Might have to have a new one anyway, so yeah, it cleaned up a little bit. Hey guys, maybe I've been living under a rock, but I didn't know that they had these thick wall sockets for taking these bouncer bolts out. I've got a regular deep well impact here, impact socket. I've been trying to get that out for a day or two now. But ordered this guy here from Amazon, and they say that it helps to break these loose. So I have my doubts, but let's try it and see. Lo and behold, can't believe that. Like I say, I've been under a rock. So if you don't have one of these for your, this is a 19 millimeter for Honda. If you don't have one of these, get you one of them, because I think it was like 14 bucks. But he paid for itself right there. Man, it is one more beautiful morning, and I think it's the last one we're going to have for a long time, because it's going to turn into winter next week, which, depending on where you are, our winter is probably not that bad. I'm going to finish turning this motor down if I can, so unstick them pistons. But see, I already took Got one main cap left here, and I've took 2 of my rod caps off. I was having trouble with the bouncer bolt. I'll show that, but got it off. I'm gonna take the oil pump off, and yeah, see what we get right here. When your pistons are stuck, these things are a bear to get out until you can't move nothing around. We got the crank out. Now the fun. What's going on? Look at there. Even the piston pins are even stuck pretty bad. I get them straight, then we can see if we can knock them pistons loose. I'm gonna get me a piece of wood and put it right here and give me a big hammer to see if I can knock them loose. Start with this one. That's what I thought. Nothing. The rod bearing didn't look too bad. She's stuck, boys. Thought the piston was moving, but I believe it's my wood moving. Let's try this one here. Need some hickory, some oak to that pine. I might put some stuff in this backside and let them soak a while. I had some stuff on the other side. I may let them soak a little more. Try from the other side here. Oh, it's tight. That one's moving. Yep. That one's moving too, I believe. Yeah, a lot of fun, boys. That is number 3. Número 2. Okay, I got one piston right here that I'm gonna let soak a little longer. I got the block stripped down. I got one issue right here in this cylinder I'm a little bit concerned about. I hope that'll clean up. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna let that soak another day or two, and then I'm gonna get that block down to the machine shop and see what they tell me. And I'll give you an update after that, but I'm gonna kind of close this video out here. And what I'm gonna do while I'm waiting on engine stuff is I may do a little bit of body work. And I say body work, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take all these decals off right here. If this front was still patinaed like this back, I would leave it. But since these fenders have already been painted, I'm gonna see if I can get these decals off all the way around and see what all I need. As far as what I want to do is probably respray this thing, and whether I'll do that or I'll get somebody to do that. The top, I need to scale all this top up, take these off, and then like I say, I can do stuff while I'm waiting on the engine. And I still haven't decided whether I'm going to, you can see it's squatting in the back. Of course, I got the engine out of the front and it's still raised up a little bit on my lift. But I don't know if I'm going to put a lift kit into this or maybe just raise the back to level it up. I'm still thinking about that. What do y'all think? I want to run maybe a 33-inch tire, and I'm going to keep the original wheels for now. So I'll be doing a little bit while waiting on the engine. So